So, you know, these things have happened to me. People… one of my friends just meets me after some 25, 30 years, and in school we were just buddies. I had not seen him, he's become a chartered accountant something. I am just getting into my car in Mysore, and this guy also has parked his car next to me. He's getting in, like a cigarette dangling from his lips, and like that he's become. I call him by his name and say, "Hey," looks at me like this. He doesn't recognize me initially. And then I call him by his, one goof name we had for him in the school. So I call him, "You goof." Then he recognizes me. Oh, they told me you become a guru. What am I?" And then like this cigarette, you put this in. You don't smoke? He pulls out his cigarette packet. You don't smoke? I said, no. You don't drink? I said, I drink water. In his mind, something abnormal has happened to me. Totally abnormal. Because I don't smoke, I don't drink, I've given up life. You renounced everything. What? Smoking, drinking, nonsense you were doing. So, you must understand, wherever you fall, there you will have your own kind of company and you will think you're normal. So, to make this life reach to its highest potential on all levels takes effort. So if you are thinking, if you are misunderstanding Patanjali and thinking, I will try everything on my deathbed, I will try yoga, all the best. Because when there is… already many of you rigor mortis is setting in. As a child, how flexible you were, slowly becoming like this. You can't even sit down on the floor. See, I cannot walk without a stick, means you're crippled, isn't it? I cannot sit without a chair, also is a crippling process. But that's considered normal cripple. So you want to be a socially accepted cripple, it's up to you. I'm talking about life as a standard by itself, not social standards. This life, how does it want to be? Does it want to smoke from its ears? Hello? Does it want to smoke? This life doesn't want to smoke. This life, does it want to live or be knocked down? This life wants to live. Because you don't know how to deal with yourself, you're finding these kind of outlets. So shall I try all those things and then do yoga? By the time you do all those things, you may be absolutely unfit to do any yoga. So that's not what Patanjali is saying. He's saying use your brains, use the faculties that nature has given you to try everything. Trying everything does not mean today you first go and stand in queue at the Tasmac shop. There also social distancing, they put circles. And then you will go into 6 months of drinking, then liver problem for another 2 years, then little transplant, but now you have to try smoking. Like this you will try one thing after another, one thing after another, and then one day you will do yoga, and now yoga. No, you must sit here like Gautam Buddha did not get old, did not get sick, nor was he dead. He saw just an old person, a sick person and a dead body, and that's it. That's what Patanjali is telling you. Yogastaha kuru karmani. I don't think I have to tell you, but establish yourself in yoga and then act. This means, without knowing some sense of union with what's around you, if you act, you can only be destructive. There's simply no other way. If there is some sense of union, you will walk gently upon this planet. If you think you are alive all by yourself without the help of anything around you, then you'll walk like a bloody fool. That's what is happening to humanity right now. Now they're little conscious because of the virus. In a negative way, they're conscious. If you are established in yoga, that means yoga means union, you have some sense of union with everything around you. Now when you act, your actions will be inclusive in nature. If human action is not inclusive in nature, it is best that we bless them with incompetence, because competence is the problem. I keep going back to this example, people tell me, Sadhguru, please don't talk about him, he's very dangerous for you. But I think he's dead, he's not dangerous for me. Some people have kept him alive, that's a different matter. Adolf Hitler. See, he's a man of enormous capabilities. Only problem is not inclusive, exclusive. See what terrible things he does. We need that kind of capability, but with inclusiveness. If every human being had the capability that he had in terms of organization and inspiration and whatever, and they were inclusive, what a fantastic world we can create. So when you're not inclusive, when you're not yogastha, then we bless you with incompetence, because competence becomes dangerous. Human competence has become dangerous because it's exclusive. If human beings are inclusive, then any amount of competence will work for our well-being. Right now, our own competence is working against our well-being. So,